Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. Thank you for joining me today or catching this on the replay. It is day 3 of the Heart Breathings virtual writing retreat. I have gotten so much done. I hope you all have too. Sarah is up next to me, Sarra Cannon, next to me. I wish. Next after me. So there's the link to her stream, and I will post it again later in my stream. It's also in the description box below, along with everything else. So what is everyone working on today? Let me jump over to the comments and say hi to everyone. Martina's here. Hello, hello. Martina says, I'm taking a quick break to stretch a bit, but I'll be back. That is an excellent idea and an excellent reminder to me and everyone. Get some stretching in today. We have been here for over 2 days now. And if you've been anything like me, your butt has probably been in your seat a little more than it should have been. So if you're able, get up, move around, and stretch a little bit during the breaks or even during the sprints, whatever works. Hey, Inka, how are you today? Martina said, did anyone else read that with the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice? I'll be back. Yes, always. It's always. Anytime I hear those words or see those words, I hear them in Arnold's voice. Brandy, hello, hello. Jane's here. She says to Martina, well, now I have no choice, do I? And Mira Lane, good to see you. Mira says, good morning from the West Coast. And Nihalina, how are you? Sarah's here too, nearly 4 p.m. here. I'm going to pace around and get myself another cold drink. My brain is just about getting into gear. Awesome. Leslie's here. Leslie says, I didn't expect to write a picture book manuscript this weekend, but I'm getting ready to polish it. I had just hoped to get my reimagined classic, another 3,000 words ahead. Mission accomplished. That's amazing. Oh, plus a side quest. We love a good side quest around here. Martina says, gives Jane my favorite laughing emoji, the sideways head one. And Leslie said, my family went to the pool last night. I imagined the view of the Ohio River was really the Turkey coastline. Yeah, that's a little bit different. And okay, wait, Mirror Lane changed their handle to author Slavy. Slavy or Slavy? Nothing like changing your handle this early in the morning. There you go. Carla, hello. Carla made breakfast and is ready to get focused. Sarah's trying to get my second character straight in my head. My story is first character POV, and I need to make sure my second character's behavior truly represents their personality. Good idea. Whoops, it jumped on me. Yolanda's here, but will be in and out while she eats breakfast. Hi, Yolanda. And author Slavy says to Sarah, oh, that's a task. Best of luck. Sarah says, I'm trying to decide whether I need to add their POV as well. That would mean a complete rewrite. I have done that. I did that with, well, not exactly that, but I did that with the first book of my serial that I'm doing over on Substack. It started out third person close, and I was like 85% of the way done with the book when I was like, this needs to be first person, thinking, oh, it'll be a piece of cake to change. It was not a piece of cake to change. So good luck with that. That's going to be as much work. So, but you can do it. And if the story needs it, do it, right? Author Slavy says, back to editing my novelette. Taylor's here. Taylor says, hi, ready for more words and a little social media. Awesome. And here's Jessie. Happy virtual writing retreat, peeps. And author Slavy is working in bed. That sounds so amazing right now. I have to admit, I'm a little tired, y'all. After I'm done here, I'm going to hang out in Sarah's sprints for a few minutes, but then I have to go see my mom. And then I think I'm going to watch a few movies and just veg out for the rest of the day. Sarah says, Friday, I did not make my step goal. Did okay yesterday. There you go. Melissa, hi. Melissa's finishing this short today. Awesome. Rita's here. Hey, Rita. I am ready. Rita says she's ready for day 3. Awesome. Jesse's compiling beta feedback, the sprint for edits. Fantastic. And Denaya is it Dana or Denaya? I know you told me before, and I apologize for not remembering. But good morning to you too. And Sam's here. Hey, what are you working on today, Sam? Hi, Jackie. What's up? And Claire's here. And author Slavy. Okay, good. I was saying it right. And Dana says, working on bullet journal for the outline scene cards. Awesome. And Feral Champion, good morning. I'm about halfway done on the get ahead on my side projects part of my rough draft challenge goal. Last Sunday, I wrote 2,000 for that, so I'm hoping to do 2K again today. You got this. And author Slavi says, ha ha ha, good writing exercise. So there you go. And Sarah says, I have put a prologue from my second character's POV, which is fun. That's a good way to test the waters, right? To see if you want to add more. And Carla says, I'm wearing clothes. Hey, some days. That's a win. That's a win most days, right? Congratulations. And Brandy says, first sprint will be weekly planning admin. Oh, I totally forgot I need to do my weekly planning. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and jump into the first sprint. We're going to do 325s and then a short cool down sprint at the end. I might have already said that, but like I said, I am exhausted. Okay, so we're going to jump into the first sprint. I will see y'all in 25 minutes. Okay, that was our first sprint. How did you do? I spent the entire sprint deleting calendars from Google and minimizing. I had calendars set up for like admin and writing and marketing, and it was just too much. So I'm streamlining my Google Calendar. That's what I will be doing for the rest of these sprints, I think. Let me run over to the comments. Let's see, where did I leave off? Author Slavi is happy to report that descaling has yielded better tasting coffee. That's good. Let's see. Sam says working on finishing up fixing my was, were, and had sentences to make them less passive for the last 5 chapters. Then I'll do a repetitive check before sending off to betas. Good idea. And Brandy, I just saw your brain reset for planning. Yeah, I totally glitched for a second and then was like, oh. So yeah, thank you for the reminder. Nicole says, good morning. I'm going to expand a scene description for my next chapter. Good morning. That sounds like a good plan too. Thank you for the heads up that I was not muted, Ange. I must have double tapped it because I know that I clicked it, the little microphone button, but I guess I double tapped it. Anyway, it is what it is. CK Johnson popping in to boop the like button and do a couple sprints. Hello, welcome. And Leslie is making lunch. Mel filled their belly. Awesome. Sam edited through 2.5 chapters. That's amazing. Rita's writing the comment. And Sarah, 635 words of next week's Substack post on the subject of my second character. Awesome. And Taylor wrote 91 words after I got my IG Reels posted and a few distractions. This chapter is going on forever. I have a few chapters like that too, and I'm thinking about breaking them into 2. Let's see. Jane says, I signed up for Publsih Thrive and rewrote my opening scene after a middle of the night epiphany. I love middle of the night epiphanies, except when I can't go back to sleep. Melissa got about 700 done. Awesome. Jesse, need to get my Google Calendar in order someday as well. Yeah, mine was just a mess. It was like a riot of color, and it was just way too busy. Helen, welcome. Helen had a snack and outlined a scene on Act 3 now. Awesome. Barb, hello. Barb says, I made it. I took a nap the first part of this session. So glad made it for at least some. Me too. And Rita says, I'm writing out the comments from critique partners. Okay, that makes more sense now. Let's see. Carla says, yesterday when I was called into work, I went over how I plan everything, and the planner I used, the person was like, so do you teach a class in this? I could use that. And I gave her the HB90 info. Awesome. We'll have another HB90 person. That will be amazing. Nealina had to take a break to cuddle the kitty. Very good reason to take a break. And Slavi says, love it. I made it through the first page. LOL. And now I'm off to adventure with my bestie, going to Michael's to pick up stuff for our massive vision boards project. I'll catch up with you later. Have fun. Angela posted on Instagram and YouTube for Rough Draft Challenge progress. You're so good at that. I was thinking I was going to do that this quarter for the Rough Draft Challenge this month, and I just didn't get a chance to get like set up for it. Maybe next time. I really wanted to do that though. Brandy says weekly review done and planning done as well. Awesome. Jackie, not sure how many words I wrote that sprint, but I've written 1,200 since starting this morning. That's amazing. And Brandy, be honest with yourself on your review, friends, even if you hurt your own feelings. Yeah. Carla, power to Mel. What did I hear? Wait, why did I hear that in? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say that out loud, but yeah. And Nihalina says, also, I'm trying to take electrolytes to stay hydrated, but it makes my stomach weird. I hate it. I've heard that. And some people have said you just have to like give it time to get used to, but I don't know. Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's hoping to get in some words. Good luck. Nicole says I ended up going back and adding things to the stuff I wrote yesterday, back to expanding the scene descriptions. I'll definitely get it done this time. Awesome. Inca says not being muted when I should be terrifies me because I swear constantly while I'm working. I had to set up a hotkey so my mic turns off when I move to the sprinting key. That's a genius idea. And I'm very lucky that I didn't swear this time. I accidentally didn't mute about a month or 2 ago, and I said bad words. So I deleted that whole sprint. Barb says to Nealina, watering them down more can help with that. Double the water you started with might help. Good plan. And Feral Champion got 134 words, and I am talking past the break. Let me restart the timer, and I will see y'all in 25. Okay, that was our second 25-minute sprint. How did y'all do? I got through planning and now I'm back with my tarot deck again. I have this idea for a new series that is just something I'm playing around with in my off time. And I want to use my tarot deck, this specifically the Light Seer, to plan the characters and outline the series. So I decided I'm just going to spend the rest of these sprints doing that because my brain is fried, and I don't think I can work on my book on book 5 anymore. So that's me. Let's see what y'all are up to in the comments. Carla says, my boss always says make good choices when one of us leaves work. Did I do that? No. I accepted a part-time gig teaching science at a summer camp on Monday and Wednesday until the end of August. What was I thinking? At least you'll be busy, right? Neolina says to Barb, I'll try that, but I forget to drink enough water. That's why I need the electrolyte, so it will get funny. And Barb says, I understand. Do the best you can. That's all we can do. And that is exactly the best advice. Do the best you can. It is all we can do, right? Neolina says, I'm at the point where I think there's a competition for who drinks more water between me and my cat. And I don't think I'm winning. Oh, Andy's here. Hello, friend. Are you up to shenanigans today or are you behaving yourself? Sarah's here too. Hey, back home. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to tidy and clean for a bit, then switch to writing. This weekend has gone by so quickly. Yes, it has. Oh, what time are you sprinting today? Are you at 5, I think? Is that right? 5 Eastern? Anyway, let's see. Angela says thanks for hosting. It's time for tacos, and I am always a fan of tacos, so enjoy. And Andy said to have a good lunch to Angela. And Carla says hi to Andy. Andy says hi back. Mel got 689 words and finished the chapter. One more to go. That's exciting. Let's see. Andy says, how art thou, young lady, to Carla? And Sarah got 1,105 words total in this document, which is basically me telling myself that I trust that I do know my characters well enough to write them well. Yes, you do. Nobody knows them better, right? And Feral Champion got 115 words. Andy says, sorry, he missed Mel's stream earlier. Brandy, I am trying to prepare myself for leaving the house. The heat is brutal. Tell me about it. It's awful. I am so ready for October, y'all. I want a warm mug of something outside with fingerless gloves and a scarf and my laptop while the leaves fall all around me. That is just the vibe I want right now. And it is like scorching hot here in Iowa today. Melissa says, I love that deck. It's one of my favorite. Yeah, it just resonates. It's the one that I know if I pull it out, I'm going to connect with the answer. And some of the other ones, it's iffy. Andy says to Carla, make good choices seems quite subjective. I mean, I agree. Mel to Andy, no worries, friend. Carla to Andy, especially with my boss. Jocelyn did some brainstorming and free writing and says, I think I'll get over this narrative hump and get those words in today. That's amazing. I hope you do. And Andy, yep, emojis for Jocelyn. Sam got through 2 chapters, only 1.5 more to go for this round. That's awesome. Martina says, I love this retreat. I got so much done and finally feel like back in the zone after a few weeks of writer's block. That's amazing. That's like the whole goal, right? I mean, that's why these retreats are so wonderful. And I love this group of writers that we have. We're all so supportive of each other and working together. It's fantastic. Barb says, I'm kicking at editing these Substack posts. One should go up soon, the other tomorrow. That's awesome. Sam says hi to Andy. Andy says hi to Sam. Jocelyn says hi to Andy. Andy says to Barb, hope you're doing bits and bars. Brandy says, hi, it was me who mentioned tacos today. It was not me who mentioned tacos today. Yeah, it usually is you or me, I think. Nicole says, plotted out my next chapter, so I'm finally ready to write it. That's awesome. Barb says she adores Andy. We all adore Andy. Sarah, everyone obsesses about drinking water. Any liquid will do as long as it's not 50% sugar. Drink anything you like. Jane says another 235 words. This has been a great weekend for my writing. Thanks to you all. All right, y'all. We are going to stick a pin in it here, and we are going to do another 25-minute sprint, and then we will do a short cool down. Whoops, I forgot to hit start. I will see you in 25. Okay, everyone, that was our last 25-minute sprint. We are going to do a 10-minute cool down. That gives us a nice little break before Sarah starts. And I'm going to go ahead and post her link in the chat after the next sprint starts. But if you're taking off before that, it's back up at the top of the comments and in the description box below. I got some, I don't know, filing and just basic stuff, cleaned up my desk a little bit. And then I realized that I forgot to put my workouts on my calendar for the week. And I'm trying to get back in the habit of that. So I need to do that during our 10-minute cool down. Let me jump back over to the comments. Where did we leave off? Carla says, maybe I'll have my husband pick up a rotisserie chicken and make enchiladas later. I love enchiladas, so I highly approve of this. Yum. Hey, Maria. Maria says, jumping back in after a long night on the river. Can't wait to get started. Glad you're here. Jane says to Sarah, when I saw that coffee counted, I stopped worrying about my water intake. Yeah. I was very happy to find out coffee counted as well. Randy says, we are under an extreme heat warning until 9 p.m. Stay cool and stay hydrated, friend. Barb says to Sarah, agree on the water obsession and protein. Ugh. Heat presses me to water here in Orlando. Yeah, I bet. Sarah says, 2 pints of Coke Zero to start my day, as well as water and other drinks. Wow. I haven't had a Coke in a very long time. I occasionally miss them, but I'm a water drinker now, pretty much for pretty much all the time, except for the occasional bourbon or a glass of wine. Let's see. Barb says iced tea drinker with Splenda. Hey, do what you got to do. Andy says I'm lurking and working for a bit. Rita says I'm also writing out notes since I've changed a few other chapters, which will of course change others. Yeah. The ripple effect. That's what I call it. Anytime I have to make it, like even the tiniest little change, there's always a ripple effect, right? So I used to just make notes about the chapters that I had to change after I made the first change. And I have since realized that if I don't make the changes immediately, I'm going to get confused and mess everything up. So I feel your pain, friend. Jane says to Martina, same for me. This feels so good. And Sarah says, my author bestie praised me yesterday for my consistency. Who, me? Yeah. I struggle with consistency too sometimes. Carla says, KU suggested I read a pirate romance yesterday. When I finished it, I was like, oh, I know this writer. They're in Wings of Writers. Oh, that's cool. I have a pirate romanticy thing kind of percolating in the back of my brain. I'm glad you mentioned that. I haven't played with that idea in a while. Martina says, yes, it does. I feel relieved and relaxed, and writing is finally fun again. That is fantastic. Jane says to Martina, huzzah. Brandy's heading out. Thank you for the sprints. Thank you for being here, friends. Stay cool. Andy says, have a good day to Brandy. And Andy's hopping off for a bit. Thanks for the sprints. Thanks for hanging with us, Andy. Mel got 450 words. Barb's not counting, but kicking it. Carla says, this is going fast. Yeah, it really is. You're welcome, Rita. Mel says, I need to put my desk up for the next sprint my body is feeling this weekend. I tell you, yeah, I feel that. I am feeling it too. It has been a great, productive weekend, but I'm beat. Jocelyn says progress was made. That's fantastic. Yolanda says, thank you, Sarah. Had breakfast and started editing again. That's awesome. Breakfast is always a good thing. Sarah says 1696 words unedited, and I have reached the end. I need to prep for editing chapter 2. That's fantastic. Carla says, thanks for these sprints. I'm almost caught up to where I was 2 weeks ago when it comes to writing. Yay. Jesse says, thanks for all the sprinting. Still comparing and compiling beta reader stuff and some editing, but at least getting there. Hey, one step at a time. What do they say? What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There you go. Inka says, I'm going to take a little break. Thanks for the sprints. Thanks for being here, Inka. Nicole got 796 words. Martina, I was just wondering why I can barely hear you. Seems the battery ran out on my headset. Oh, no. Feral Champion, 52 words, and started the washer on a musty blanket I'm washing. And Jane says, thank you, Sarah, for hosting us. Distracted by a friend calling, but back to writing. Awesome. Carla, yesterday someone was, how much water do you drink? As I filled my 40-ounce Stanley for the second time. Mel says to Carla, twice a day minimum. And Sarah says, I don't drink coffee or tea, so Coke Zero is my caffeine. Awesome. Carla, a customer left a fancy Stanley on the counter the other day. My boss said if no one calls or claims it in the next week, it's mine. Ha. Yolanda starting a little planning. Melissa, one more scene to write in the short, so I am taking a little break before Sarah. I need to stretch. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Jesse, nom nom nom. And Sarah, my dog, is requesting a pit stop too. All right, y'all, I'm gonna start the timer at 10 minutes. And then we will take a little break before we all head over to Sarah's. Whoops, not 100 minutes. Okay, there we go. Where's my mouse? There we go. All right, y'all. See you in 10. Whoops. Okay, everyone, that's it. We are done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Sarah is up in about 13 minutes, so I'm going to let y'all go, and I will see you over there. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.